This happened when I was 26, back in early 2019. I was living alone in a one-bedroom apartment in Tempe, Arizona, working remotely as a data analyst for a company based in Seattle. My job required me to stay on Pacific time, so most nights I'd be working until around 1 or 2 a.m. my time. It wasn't ideal, but the pay was decent and I didn't mind being up late. I've always been more of a night person anyway. My routine was pretty consistent. I'd finish work, make myself something quick to eat, usually a bowl of cereal or leftover pizza. Then I'd sit on the couch and scroll through my phone for maybe 30 or 40 minutes before heading to bed. Reddit, Instagram, YouTube, the usual stuff. Nothing exciting. I lived in a quiet complex near the university, mostly grad students and young professionals. You'd hear the occasional door close or someone walking up the stairs, but after midnight it was almost always silent. The apartment had those cheap vertical blinds that never closed all the way, so there was always a thin line of light from the parking lot that cut across my living room floor. I got used to it. I remember thinking around that time that I should probably start going to bed earlier. I was always tired, always dragging myself through the day. But I kept putting it off. One more video, one more thread. You know how it is. I didn't think much of it at the time, but looking back, that's probably when I first started noticing something was off. It was subtle at first. I'd have my phone sitting on the coffee table while I was eating or watching something on my laptop, and it would just sit there, completely dark. No notifications, nothing. But the second I'd pick it up to check the time or look at something, the screen would light up and suddenly there'd be 3 or 4 notifications waiting. Instagram likes, email, a news alert, whatever. It felt like they'd all come in at once, right when I touched it. I figured it was some kind of battery-saving feature or a delay in the push notifications. I didn't think it was weird. Phones do that sometimes. But it kept happening, every single time. I started testing it without really meaning to. I'd leave the phone on the table for 10 minutes, stare at it, nothing. Pick it up, and boom, notifications. It became this predictable thing, and I still didn't think it was strange. Just a quirk. Then the screen started waking up on its own. Not all the time, just occasionally. I'd be sitting there, phone face up on the couch next to me, and the display would turn on. No sound, no vibration, just the lock screen appearing out of nowhere. The first few times I thought maybe I'd gotten a text or something, but when I checked, there was nothing new. No missed calls, no messages. Just the screen lighting up for no reason. I looked it up online and found a bunch of people saying it was probably a software glitch or something with the proximity sensor. I did a restart. I checked for updates. It still happened. Around the same time, I started noticing that my phone was recommending things I hadn't searched for. And I don't mean in the normal, targeted ad kind of way. I mean specific things. Like one night I was thinking about getting a new desk chair because mine was falling apart. And the next time I opened Instagram, the first 3 posts in my feed were ads for office chairs. I hadn't typed anything into Google. I hadn't said it out loud. I'd just been sitting there thinking about it while I ate dinner. Another time I was remembering this old cartoon I used to watch as a kid, something I hadn't thought about in years. And that night, YouTube started recommending videos about it. Clips, commentary, retrospectives. It was like the app knew what was in my head. I told myself it was just algorithms. That's what they do. They track you, they guess, they predict. It's creepy, but it's not personal. It's just data. I tried to rationalize it. I figured maybe I'd mentioned the chair thing to a coworker on Slack. Or maybe I'd Googled the cartoon years ago, and it was resurfacing now. I didn't want to think too hard about it. But it kept happening. I'd think about something, and within hours, my phone would show me content related to it. It felt too accurate, too fast.
I started getting uncomfortable, but I didn't know what to do about it. Delete my apps? Switch phones? That felt extreme. So I just kept using it, kept scrolling, kept ignoring the feeling in my stomach that something wasn't right. It was a Wednesday night, around 2:40 a.m., when things got worse. I'd just finished work, and I was lying in bed with my phone, scrolling through Twitter, barely paying attention. The room was dark, except for the glow from the screen. I wasn't really reading anything, just letting my eyes pass over words. My brain was tired. Then a notification appeared at the top of the screen. It didn't make a sound. It didn't vibrate. It just slid down from the top, quiet and smooth. I looked at it. There was no app icon next to it, no name, no source, just text. It said, "You're still awake." I stared at it for a few seconds. My first thought was that it was some kind of wellness app I'd forgotten I installed. Maybe something tracking my sleep or screen time. But I didn't recognize the message. I swiped it away and opened my notification history to see where it came from. It wasn't there. I checked my apps. I went through my settings. I couldn't find anything that would have sent that message. I sat up in bed. My heart was beating a little faster now, but I was still trying to stay calm. I locked my phone and put it face down on the nightstand. I turned off the lamp. The room went completely dark. I lay there for maybe 10 seconds, staring at the ceiling, telling myself it was nothing. A glitch. A weird push notification from some app I didn't remember downloading. Then the phone screen lit up. I could see the glow reflecting off the wall next to my bed. I didn't move. I didn't want to look. But I turned my head anyway. There was another notification on the lock screen. Same format, no app, no icon. It just said, "We know." I felt my stomach drop. I didn't touch the phone. I didn't unlock it. I just stared at the screen until it went dark again. My mouth was dry. My hands were shaking. I wanted to convince myself it was a prank or some kind of hack, but I couldn't make sense of it. Who would do that? How would they even do that? I didn't pick up the phone again that night. I left it on the nightstand and rolled over facing the wall, trying to force myself to sleep. I couldn't. I stayed awake until the sun started coming through the blinds. The next morning I checked my phone. Both notifications were gone. There was no record of them in my notification history. I went through every app on my phone, checked permissions, deleted anything I didn't recognize. I reset my settings. I even factory reset the whole thing later that week. I don't use that phone anymore. I switched carriers, got a new number, bought a different model. I still work late nights. I still scroll before bed. But I don't keep my phone in my bedroom anymore. I leave it in the living room, plugged in, face down. I don't know if it was a hack, or a virus, or something else. I never got another message like that. But I still think about it. I still wonder who was on the other side. And I still don't know what they knew.